really hamper and slow down his production facilities. Now Lalush, thinking about making a counterattack, he realizes that he needs to make something happen, but his roaches completely out of position, the two Banshees catching them out, and now a lot of roaches are going to suffer as a result. Huge casualties here. I think maybe 2 or 3 more roaches could go down if Select controls this well, and he is controlling quite well. Moving, attacking, pops off another roach before the roaches finally make it home. And meanwhile, a Hellion just chilling outside the 3rd expansion. Lots of action in this game. Lalush realizing he can't even Maynard workers over to this hatchery, and of course the hatchery has now been revealed. Now, if we look at the production tab, I'm really interested to see what we have coming out for the players. We have, whoa, a Hydralisk Den and 2 Hydras. Oftentimes, you know, I really don't know if Hydras are the best unit to go against Terrans. I really don't think so, especially since Select has all these tanks and Marines. Tanks and Marines are a really hard counter to Hydras, and I don't think Hydras are the option to go here. But obviously, he's forced to get a couple to deal with the Banshees and the dropship play. But I really think going for Spire and getting Mutas would have been much better than investing in Hydralisk, because Mutas are so much more mobile, so much more agile. But meanwhile, back in the Terran base, he is still producing off of factories, getting a 2nd factory down with Tech Lab. We do finally have Cloak being researched for the Banshees, and it looks like we are going to be seeing some kind of a biomech play here, a combination of both infantry and mechanized units. So very good unit diversity for Select. Income still favoring the Zerg player Lalush, however. Nope, just now favoring the Terran. I might have just misread that. So the Terran player is ahead. I think Select definitely has this game, at least the first game, in the bag. And it's definitely his game to lose at this point. He's done brilliant harass against the Zerg Swarm. Lalush has been having his hands tied, trying to hold off the constant harass. Looks like there is a good Spore Crawler here to hold off the double Banshee attack, and these Banshees are only going to get a couple of drone kills. So good Spore Crawler placement from Lalush, saves his drones at his 3rd from falling. And he also has a couple of Hydras there just for added defense measures. Select still with good map control. I think the food count might even be favoring Select. 126 food, Lalush at 107. Where is the Muta Baneling strategy for Lalush? Is he even getting Mutalisk? No, he is not. He only has 1 upgrade, missile attacks level 1, but he's not getting Mutas. He's actually going for Infestor Baneling. And, I mean, Infestor Baneling is great against mass bio, but I don't know if it's that good against tanks. I would argue that getting Muta Baneling is better. Whenever an opponent goes for mechanized units like tanks or Hellions, Mutas are key because they can't shoot air, at least the mech cannot, and the Mutas can, of course, harass them all day long. So I don't know what's going to happen in this game. Select is getting centrifugal hooks to help get those Banelings a little bit more mobilized. 1 dropship kind of chilling here. The double Banshees still back here. 7 kills and 8 kills apiece. A lot of damage those Banshees have done to the Zerg player this game. And now Select thinking about securing the gold expansion. If the Zerg player Lalush allows this to go up, then he's going to be in big trouble, because this is going to spike the Terran player's economy way above the Zerg players. Select now is going to drop behind the steam vents, but Lalush does see this drop coming in. Is he going to be able to stop it in time? Is he going to mobilize his forces? That's a lot of Marines they can stim up. They might even be able to pick off the Baneling's nest, but meanwhile, massive battle here. Banelings rolling in. Good fungal growth play from Lalush. Almost missed that battle, but the Banelings go in, demolish almost all of the infantry, but now the Marines coming in with that drop attack, gonna pick off several drones. The Baneling speed never even finished, so I'm not even sure how Select managed to lose so much of his infantry, but nonetheless, is Select going to be able to hold off his dropship, taking a lot of damage from the Spore Crawler, just barely hightails it out of there. And meanwhile, the Banshees coming back in from this corner of the map on Metalopolis. They're going to start to shell away this refinery. I think that even though Select lost a lot of his Marines over here at that Baneling massacre, I think Select has done a lot more harass to Lalush, and Lalush is just trying to struggle to keep all of his bases covered. Once again, the drop being initiated back in the main, and Lalush is just twirling from all of the attacks, constantly having to bring back all of his forces. The Baneling's nest could go down. This would be so huge if it gets taken out, but no. Baneling's rushing back to defend their primary building. Lalush at 116 food, Select at 147. You guys can see now that he's got his gold saturated. I think that Select is going to be in a prime position to take this game. Lalush Although he had some good attacks here and there, he won a lot of battles, he might lose the war. He's been forced to just constantly defend his bases from multiple angles. Select has been attacking so brilliantly, and unfortunately right now Lalush just doesn't have Mutalisks. He has no Mutalisks. Just a huge flock of Mutas could pick off all these tanks. It could all go down. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We can see on the units tab, we see primarily Roaches, a couple of Hydras, some Lings, Banelings, and Infestors. Is it going to be enough? The hatchery will get taken down. The Zerg force is mobilizing, but they are not strong enough in number to take down this massive bio ball. Looks like the hatchery will fall. Banelings getting out microed. The Banelings never even splash landed on these Marines and Marauders. That damage is from the stim pack. Meanwhile, we have another counterattack. Both these players fighting so valiantly here in the finals. They know they've come so far, and they have to win this game for that momentum advantage in game number 1. It looks like one Baneling's just going to morph in here, be a baller, but he's going to die. Literally. To those defensive Marines. Select looking very strong. 1 armor, 2 weapons. He's got this massive mechanized force just chilling outside of Lalush's base. Lalush had 1-1, but I don't know if he has enough to deal with all these tanks. The Banelings can't even get in range to the Marines and Marauders because the tanks do so much damage. Good fungal growth right there, stopping all the Marines in their tracks, but the closer the Zerg gets to these mechanized forces, the more artillery shell they eat. And that is not a healthy appetite. That's not healthy food for the Zerg player to ingest. Looks like he is going to use some more Overlord drop action. This is what he's been needing to do to beat off the Terran mech. He's dropping off onto the tanks, but he just ran out of units. He doesn't have any more to drop off to load up into the Overlords. Some Hydras and Roaches going to get picked off right there. And now the Terran player Select looking very strong. Kills off the auxiliary hatchery. It looks like he will be able to push forward for victory today. The drones here just getting obliterated by the Marines and tanks, and Lalush calls GG in game number 1. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if this is a best of 3 or a best of 5, but all I do know is both these players just played their hearts out, and Lalush just suffered a crushing defeat to the hands of Select. The evil Terran takes the win today, but I gotta say, Lalush played really, really well to hold off all these drops, all these attacks, and Select played even better. Brilliant multi-pronged attacks, dropping here, and then bringing his Banshees around. That was what won in the game. I cannot say that enough. Select was able to harass so well in this game. That's what was able to win him the game, even from the beginning when he used his dropship to drop off Hellions, all the way to the end when he brought Banshees and Marine drops inside the dropship. So good game. Select takes game number 1. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that broadcast, and stay tuned because this final is just starting to get heated up. HD signing out.